We are supposed to be doing the Dirt Shed show today, aren't we? Me on my own? Is it? All right, no problem. What we've got coming up on the show this week is lycra versus baggies, and then we've got news from all of your favourite disciplines. Ask the Don. What is this? Who is?
That's me, Mark, that's me.
Oh, you.
All right.
Better late than never.
Yeah.
Have a seat.
I'm here this week. Ask the Don, that's our new section where we ask you guys, the viewers, to send in your videos or questions, skills-based stuff, so I'll try and help you on. Big race this weekend, it's Crankworx New Zealand, it's a downhill race, but also the first round of the EWS, so looking forward to see the results for that.
Yeah, it should be really interesting with competition getting deeper and deeper each year. We've had a quick look at the course. It's 60 kilometres, 7 stages and 1900 metres of climbing. That's a big day in anybody's books.
Site's pretty big, it's also wet by the looks of it, and it's pretty clayey from all accounts, so really slippy.
One thing to bear in mind is that it's all in one day, so they have to cover all 7 stages plus the 1900 metres of climbing all on that one day, so it's going to be a tough day for anyone really. Yeah, for sure. Big news from that already is that Jared Graves, the reigning world champion, is out with 2 separated shoulders. We've both separated our shoulders. I can safely say I've never done both at the same time, and I'm actually struggling with the concept of how did he possibly do both at the same time? Well, must have been, well, I say a big one, but I did mine in the smallest crash ever. Over the bars, landed on a rock, big old lumpy bump on there. I'd put those little bingo arms away if I were you, Neil. In the women's, I expect the old rivalry of Tracy Mosley and Anne Carrow to continue. Tracy has been undefeated both years in the overall, so pretty strong. I quite like this. I like that those two are battling like they used to battle in, well, I think it's probably fair to say that Anne had the upper hand when she was focusing on downhill, but when they've both been battling in Enduro, it's been very much a Tracy Mosley sort of taking it. So Neil, or the Don, new section, Ask the Don. Right, Dave Richards, I think you might struggle with this one. Why am I on a bike? Well, could be anything really, Dave, I'm afraid. How often do you ride a bike? Is mountain biking for you? Try something else maybe? I don't know. Genetics? Oh, I don't know Dave that well. Dave's dad? Blame your dad, Dave. Here's a good one. Joe Payne. I'm having trouble jumping off-camber routes. Any help? Well, off-camber routes, super slippy as you know, Mark. All comes down to the bunny hop this. So practice your bunny hops on flat. You want to be doing it one wheel at a time, so front wheel then back wheel, so you can then do nice small versions of that and think about unweighting over those routes. Off-camber routes, you've definitely got to unweight over those, if not clear the lot. I think I need a downhill bike again, Neil. Well, so that's George Brannigan riding at home. Most of the times when I've seen him at a World Cup, he's been on his head and covered in mud. But stepped up his game, that's a really, really cool edit. So if you get a chance, check it out. What's better, Mark? 27.5 or 29? Or something in the middle? I think we should invent one that's slightly in the middle. Well, perhaps that would really put the cat amongst the pigeons, wouldn't it? Who the hell is this? No way, it's Slash. Right, little Byceland lad, how's it going?
We're in a second, we're just trying to make Mackie's brekkie.
So it was your first race back last weekend in Portugal. Got the win, how was that?
I just wanted to race against the clock again. It had been so long and I didn't want to turn up in Lords and panic a bit when I was under pressure for the first time since it all. So yeah, in qualifying I got pretty nervous and just like, you know, hearing them beats for the first time and just went so quick, man. And like rode like way quicker than I had all weekend by a good amount.
With the race season just around the corner and the first World Cup in Lords, what are your expectations?
Honestly though, like just the fact that I'm going to be there racing is a massive bonus for me. But after how little I've been on my downhill bike and stuff, I think I'm not going to peak till sort of mid-season really. So I've not really got too many expectations. I think realistically, if I ride really well, I could probably get on the podium. Maybe, or you know, I will be made up with a top 10, but just because of the nature of the track, I think it's really long and physical, and towards the bottom of the track, when I get tired, my foot does take a bit more of a beating. So we'll see how it goes, but yeah.
So as we've touched on, Neil, Crankworx New Zealand is going ahead right now. I'm not sure if you've seen the start list for downhill, but there are a lot of the top runners there, almost like a mini World Cup. Should be really interesting to see who's on pace.
Track looks awesome, really fast, open, good test for those guys. I think they'll all want to go there and, you know, show speed. They're not going there just for a warm up. They all want to win it, so super interesting. Continuing on the New Zealand theme, where everyone is at the moment, it seems to be. Elliot Jackson's just released a new video. Seen that, Mark?
Yeah, very cool. I think he's kind of renowned for sort of taking bike park riding to the next level. I'm not sure if you've seen his old edits in Whistler and so on. He had so many like random gaps that he was doing there, and this seems to be no different. Super stylish. I don't know if he still wears the slippers, does he? I think from time to time he still wears his slippers, yeah. Not in this video though. So do you remember that massive jump in South Africa we showed you a couple of weeks ago on the show? First footage has come out of those boys hitting it. Absolutely flat out down that run in. Matt McDuff, who's hitting that, is doing it with no brakes on his bikes. Pretty scary. Fancy that, Mark? I don't think I fancy hitting that with no brakes. As I said, like in the video, it usually dulls it down and perhaps doesn't look quite as big as it actually is, so you can only imagine how big that jump is. Yeah, check out that video, it is massive. Also, first big slopestyle event of the year at Crankworx in New Zealand as well. Be interesting to see who comes out with big tricks there. Yeah, all the heavy hitters are there. It should be really interesting, and we'll be watching that tomorrow. Okay, so last week we touched on the Absa Cape Epic. It's a grueling 740-kilometer race over the week. It was won by mountain bike legend Christoph Sauser alongside Jaroslav Kulavi. He's actually inked his way into the record books by winning the Absa Cape Epic 5 times. It's pretty impressive, that, isn't it? 5 times. They won by just over 10 minutes in the end, almost 11 minutes, so that's a pretty decent lead on I know it's a big race, but you know, pretty dominant in that race, so well done to those boys. Yeah, I saw some of the pictures and you could see some of the outputs that were put out on people's Garmins and stuff, and really grueling race. 330 watts for 5 hours I saw. Not sure I could do that, Mark. Actually, pretty certain I couldn't. Right, so here's a photo from last week. This week's Caption winner is Philly on 2 wheels. What, cheese? Not cheese, Mark, no, it's a username. All right. Looks like Mary Poppins is really stepping up her game. It's not bad. That's pretty good, to be fair. So send us in your details, we'll get a t-shirt out in the post. Whilst we're on Captions, here's the photo for this week. What do you reckon to that, Mark? I'd say, well, he's a good looking chap, that's for sure. I'd say it looks pretty cold there. See, there's a bit of snow on the ground. Yeah, it looks very cold. Send us in your captions, what do you think? Send us something funny on the comments down below, and the winner wins a t-shirt. This is something that you picked up on, Neil, and I think it's really interesting. Comes from Flying Brian Lopes, and he says, this is a picture of a factory Honda 450 ridden by Cole Seeley, and your mountain bike shouldn't be running bars the same width. Stop the madness, people. 800mm wide. Yeah, I think there's a lot to be said of like trendsetters within the sport, especially they're running wider and wider bars, and you know, you've got 60 horsepower Honda motorcycle and it's got the same width bars as your little jump bike. It seems a bit silly. I've got 60 horses in these legs. No, you haven't. Okay, so we're going to do our verses. The boss ain't here, so we'll change it around as like it's our own show, Neil. It is. Lycra versus baggies. Baggies. Well, yes, but always. Yes. Except for when I'm on a road bike. No, you're fibbing, see. Because you go out on your road bike in your Lycra and you ride your trail bike in your baggies. You can't wear baggies on a road bike. You can't wear Lycra on a mountain bike, in my book. Not unless you're racing. Racing cross country will let you off, but anything else than that. Like for me, I'd always, on my trail bike, downhill bike, I always got my baggies on. Thank goodness the rule of skin suits has been pushed to one side so we can wear our cool baggy stuff
Yeah, we've both worn skin suits for racing downhill. I was never a big fan. My legs are way too skinny for skin suits. Not a good look.
Yeah, the skin suit's not supposed to be baggy, is it, Neil? What's your best one this week, Neil?
Well, my favourite comment comes from Steffis6, and they say, I thought a berm was a French term for your derriere. Did you get it? Berm.
Oh,
Bum. Berm. But what is French term for derriere? Surely derriere is the French term.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, good comment. What's yours, Mark?
Well, mine is from Super Litherland. So awkward, but in quite a charming way. Big fan. Keep it up, slugger. I like that.
I'll agree with that. Pretty awkward, yeah.
Charming, Neil, was what we were focusing on there.
So leave us your comments and we'll read them out if we like them next week.
Yep. Down below, innit?
Down below.
Yep.
Instagram of the week comes this time from Emir Davis, the Welsh downhiller. He seems to have been falling off his bike and getting something stuck in his ribs. Looks pretty nasty, that, Mark. Have you done anything like that?
No, I haven't, but I have watched Em's ride regularly, and it seems to be one of his favourite pastimes is parting company with his bike, and in this case, a pile of sticks.
Yeah, something that I've always been pretty scared of, getting something stuck in me when you fall off your bike. Pretty unlucky, but that is nasty.
So now it's time to preview what we have on the channel coming up this week.
Monday, Si is showing you how to stop your gears from jumping.
And then on Tuesday, we have 10 essential skills to know before you ride. That's a really helpful one, just so you've got a bit of heads up what you're getting yourself in for.
Wednesday, how to go faster. That's a good one, looking forward to that.
We all want to go faster, don't we? And then on Thursday, we have how important is the weight of your trail bike. This one was really interesting when we were out filming that, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was good fun, that one. And then what we got on Friday, Mark?
Well, it's back to us, I think. Here, we seem to have taken over the Dirt Shed show, which will be next Friday, so don't forget to tune into that one. Tune in. Tune in. Who tunes in? Plans for the weekend? Anything, Neil? Anything in the pipeline?
Go
Walk
riding.
the dogs?
Walk the dogs, go riding, have a beer.
Beer, right. Yeah, I'll probably get out on my bike, see what's going on. Perhaps you could watch our 60-second video on how to corner, Neil, might get some tips.
That's coming out tomorrow, yeah.
Click up here.
And we also shot a really good video recently. Which trail bike is fastest? What do we ride? A 29er hardtail and a couple of different lengths travel trail bikes to see what was fastest on one trail. So you can click up there for that one.
To be fair, I might take the 29er hardtail home this weekend.
It's down for that one, by the way.
For a bit of excitement.
Yeah, 29er hardtail, super fast. But was it fastest?
It was good fun. And finally, subscribe to us here at GMBN. Whiskey o'clock in it, Neil, for you.
Yeah.